Sometimes we think that a perfect version of us has to be ready before we allow in that manifestation. No wonder my subconscious is going to be like, In this video, I'm going to be sharing some real serious realness. I've noticed where I'm blocking certain blessings of my own from coming into my now reality. And if you have found that there are certain manifestations that just seem to always be on the horizon, but you just can never seem to reach them, or they can never seem to reach you, I hope this video helps, because I'm going to be sharing with you realizations that I've had, which are helping me to go from blocking my blessings to finally letting them in. I don't think it's a coincidence that today I saw on social media a law of attraction quote that I've never seen before, and it said, if you are waiting, you are manifesting more waiting. What does that mean, Lucie? Well, I'm sure those of you who have watched some of my videos before will know that when it comes to manifestation, they say that it's important to become a vibrational match to what you want. If you had what you want right now, how would you feel? Obviously, you wouldn't feel like you're still waiting for it. Nothing. If you had it right now, you wouldn't feel like you don't have it. You'd feel like you have it. Sounds obvious, but you wouldn't feel like you're waiting for it. You wouldn't feel like you're trying for it. You wouldn't feel like you're not ready for it yet. You just feel like it's your reality. As I film this video, I currently have, I believe it's 98.3k subscribers, which means I am less than 2,000 subscribers away from having 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. Let's take a few lessons from my journey. I've observed myself feeling less motivated to create videos lately. I'm just a couple of thousand, less than a couple of thousand beautiful subscribers away from manifesting something that's on my vision board, something that I've been scripting about for a long time, and that is hitting that glorified 100k subscriber count and being eligible to receive that 100,000 subscribers plaque. I've clearly been doing some things right in terms of my vibration mixed with action to get this far, to get to 98.3k subscribers. But why is it that I've watched myself slow down the creative process, therefore slowing down the process to get to that 100k? I'm going to talk you through the blockages, the limiting beliefs, the self-sabotaging thoughts that I've been feeling coming up, because I know that at least one of you will be able to relate. I'm witnessing that there's a pattern in some areas of my life where I start things and do not finish them. I know some of you can relate to this. Where we start things, we don't finish things. Now, why is that? I want you to ask yourself, what do you think are the reasons, if that's you, why you don't finish some things? There's a fear sometimes, a fear of success, or a not feeling worthy, or this is the real one if we want to drop some manifestation into it. If we identify ourselves currently as someone who's striving to get there, not there yet, but striving to get there, doing the work and not there yet, I've been identifying as somebody who's on the journey to 100k. So all of a sudden, when 100k is on the horizon, I'm gonna lose that identity that I'm familiar with. As soon as I get that 100k, yes, I'm going to gain a lot. I'm going to achieve the goal. I'm going to have manifested that thing that I've been wanting to manifest. But at the same time, to my subconscious brain, it's like, whoa, hold on a second. We identify as somebody who's working towards that goal. We haven't been fully identifying as somebody who has 100,000 and more subscribers. So this is interesting, right? What are you identifying as? What have I been identifying as? And even though I've had a 100k subscribers plaque on my vision boards and phone screens for the last year, Even though I've been writing and reading my scripting letters, I'm so grateful that now that I have 100,000 subscribers, and it feels natural, it feels normal to me. When the time came that I started to hit 98,000 subscribers, 98.1, 98.2, I slowed down my creative process. And you know what? It's okay. It's absolutely fine. What I've learned and what I've realized is that Lucie needed a little bit of time to adjust herself to feeling truly ready for 100K. Now, here I am creating another video because I also had a conversation with myself saying, okay, Lucie, let's not let it slide 3 feet from gold. Let's not self-sabotage to a point where I, quit 3 feet from gold. 3 feet from gold, by the way, is a reference to a story that Napoleon Hill shares in Think and Grow Rich. So many millionaires claim that Think and Grow Rich was one of the books that really helped them to sort of become rich. The 3 feet from gold story. This analogy comes from a story during the gold rush of a young man who was mining for gold for months. Then he decided to quit. The first miner who quit was literally 3 feet away from striking this massive scene of gold. But he quit. And then you'll have to listen to Think and Grow Rich to hear the full story, but basically then the second miner comes along and just moves the drill like 3 feet to the left, 3 feet to the right or something, hires a professional who understands the rock formations a bit better, and he was like, oh yeah, well it would just be there. And then bingo, this guy hit the jackpot. So 3 feet from gold is what I'm referring to. It's a reference to that story of stopping when you're just that close to the finish line. So I'm not stopping 3 feet from gold. I took a little pause break 3 feet from gold. I could see the finish line and I was like, imagine you're on a long race and you stop and you sort of, am I ready for this? Am I ready to hit the finish line? Now I must do a shout out to Regan Hillier, who's another law of attraction manifestation person, and I actually remember listening to one of her courses where she said that when it comes to setting visions for your future, goals for yourself, she said do it twice. Set yourself, like, think about your biggest vision. Think about it now. What is your biggest vision that you'd love to achieve in your life, that you'd love to manifest in your life? Write it down, whether it's financial, relationships, quality of lifestyle, impact. Pause if you need to. Okay? Once you've done that, then what Regan Hillier said is then do it again. So transport yourself to now you have achieved all of those things that you just thought of, that you just wrote down. From that point, standing on top of the mountain that was once all the way there for you, transport yourself to stand on top of that mountain. Then what would be next? What goals would you set from that place? What would your vision expand to from that place? And set yourself, even though you thought that was your limit, go ahead now and set yourself an even bigger vision, even different goals, bigger goals, etc. Why? Why is this a thing? Because when you just set yourself that goal, we can have a tendency to feel like that's the end. So like I set myself a goal of 100,000 subscribers, and really it kind of felt like that was the only goal I'd set myself. It was the ultimate thing. It kind of had these the end kind of vibes to it. It's not the end of my channel. I don't plan on stopping at 100K, but because I never really looked further or allowed myself to really kind of feel comfortable with what happens after that point, this is where I've been stretching out slowing down the content creation to stretch out and not quite get to 100K. Now, in the creation of this video, by the way, I am quite certain that just by me creating this video, this could be the video that takes me from less than 100K to over 100K. And any one of you who clicks the subscribe button down there, if you haven't clicked it already, thank you, because you are directly contributing to my manifestation. So thank you, those of you who are clicking the subscribe button and ringing my bell right now. Thank you so much with all of my heart. In the last few weeks, I haven't felt ready to step over that line of 100K and move on to the next step. Hence why every reason that my brain could come up with to not create a video came up. Whereas I was driving home, it's like 20 to midnight right now, and I was just like, you know what, Lucy, now after a couple of weeks of not doing anything YouTubey, now you're ready. So I don't know who can relate to this. Let me know in the comments if you can. If you feel that you've been slowing down when you're 3 feet from gold, don't stop. Don't let those thoughts that are delaying you from hitting your finish line actually fully stop you. And I've seen this people in my life. I've seen this, dear friends of mine, where just as things start to get really good, they back out completely, they quit. Their brain gives them a reason why they need to just back out completely. So I'm telling you now, this is your sign not to back out. Take a pause if you need to. Get used to like acclimatization. If we're going back to the mountain analogy, you're almost at the very top of a mountain. You might need to sit there for a little while for your body to get used to the new altitude. Your body will get used to the new altitude as long as you don't plan to go back down again. Stay there, stick with it. Because then it will suddenly stop feeling like, whoa, I'm really high up, and it'll be like, this is my new normal. And then from there, you can climb again. What have I written here? If you have a pattern of almost but not quite finishing things, ask yourself why you think that is. And when we talk in manifestation about becoming a vibrational match to the wish fulfilled, when Neville Goddard talks about you don't even need to visualize the journey to how you achieve whatever you want to achieve, just be there. Like, train your subconscious mind to get familiar with it already being done. Play a 2-minute scene in your mind of a moment in your reality when it's already done, because then you're going there and you're going there and you're going there. And you know what? I hadn't practiced in my mind. I hadn't been visualizing and feeling used to 100k subscribers or more. So it's no wonder that as I've approached this thing that I was putting up on a pedestal, that I slowed down, and it took me a little while to adjust. I actually did about a year ago, I did a course which is available on my YouTube channel. It's called Manifest Your Dreams Academy. It's a 4-video process. In the first video, I talk about the very first principle, which is really important for stepping into a new level of manifestations in your life, and that is changing your identity. And I don't mean like change your name, change your address, I don't mean that. I mean, change your identity. What do you identify as? And I'm not talking about gender or sexuality either. I'm talking about, I was identifying as somebody who did not have 100k subscribers. I was identifying as, in my head, a small YouTuber who had not yet achieved that. That was what I was identifying as. So if that was my identity, then when 100k is on the horizon, no wonder my subconscious is going to be like, you don't have any more ideas. You're not ready yet. You're too busy. You don't have time. Ooh, are you feeling a burnout? Anything my brain could possibly come up with to keep me experiencing things that belong to my identity. So it's important for me to now step into the identity of a YouTuber that has 100k subscribers plus and more. And this is what is suddenly now leading to me having this flow of energy to be able to create a video, to be able to cross that line. If there's something that's not quite done, like, ask yourself, and I'm asking you, have you been living in an identity as a version of you that hasn't got it yet? A version of you that hasn't got it yet? And what could you do to take it off a pedestal and put you on the pedestal instead? It's another thing you've probably heard if you've watched other law of attraction videos, talking about taking your big goal off the pedestal. It doesn't have to be big. Back in the day, 100k was massive for me. Then it became like, ooh, kind of major. And now I'm in the process of going, you know what? It's just my next tiny baby step. And I feel ready for that. Yes, I feel ready. Okay? So take it off the pedestal and put you on the pedestal. What I mean by that is that sometimes if we boil it all down and peel all the layers of the onion, then we find, why do we feel like that's up there and we're down there? Number one, because we're making that goal into a big fuss. But number two, because we're not giving ourselves enough credit and value, and maybe there's some part of me that was going, me just being me and just talking to a camera and uploading things onto YouTube is unworthy of having 100,000 subscribers for doing that. And so I get to have a conversation with myself and say, you know what? That is the whole beauty of your YouTube channel, Lucie. Guess what? If you hadn't noticed already, Luce, you turning the camera on and chatting about stuff seems to be your value. I mean, give yourself some credit here, look. You know, and sometimes I get imposter syndrome. So I'm in the process of putting myself on that pedestal and reminding myself that yes, it doesn't have to be this thing where you have to be this whole new, entirely different person. You have to have all these skill sets. You have to get another 10 qualifications before you can manifest this. Not necessarily. What if you, as you are, the beautiful, flawsome, perfectly imperfect human being that you are, off camera, without filters, all your bad days included, what if that version of you, who you are right now, is good enough to manifest what you've been holding away from you? Sometimes we think that a perfect version of us has to be ready before we allow in that manifestation. Oh, I'm feeling that. Yes, just realized it now. I had a belief that a perfect version of me had to exist when that 100,000 subscribers plaque arrives. And yet here I am now, very much so not a perfect version of me. And guess what? I never will be, because I am a beautiful human, okay? And that 100,000 subscriber plaque will arrive in the post any day now with all the imperfections that I have and all the imperfections in my life. So same for you too. Whatever it is that you want, if there's been something where you think you have to be this much better or that much different in order to have it, I've got news for you. You don't. You can be you. You can be exactly who you are right now. But if you change your identity and you identify this beautifully, perfectly imperfect, flawsome version of yourself, you identify that that version of you is good enough for these things that you want, all of a sudden, you are no longer holding yourself away from what it is that you want. Did you resonate with anything I shared in this video? If you did, you can click the thumbs up button. You can also click that subscribe button and observe this channel going from being one that's under 100k to over 100k. And you know what the craziest part is that when that day comes, yes, I will celebrate, I will dance, I will hopefully capture it on camera, and it will be, ooh, you know, manifestation. And then the next day, I will wake up and pretty much be the same. Yeah, that's the other part of it. Like, yes, we're getting 1% better every day. That's my goal. If you watch this channel, I know that you're also in a journey to becoming the best version of you, and that's great. But let's not think that we have to be the best version of ourselves before we, live a life of blessings, gifts, abundance, and success. Whew, it honestly feels good to be back recording. So I missed you. Thank you. I love you. To those of you who've subscribed to me, like those of you who hit subscribe when I had 100 subscribers or 1,000 subscribers, you're very special types of human beings, and I massively appreciate you, because I feel like it does take a thought leader to decide to click on subscribe, and someone that you believe in and someone you're getting value from, even though the subscriber count isn't there. It's almost easier to hit subscribe on a channel that's got loads. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like, ooh, people think this person's worth subscribing to. But you made the independent decision to subscribe before anyone else did. So I deeply thank those of you who are my original subs. come say hi in the comments if you were one of the originals. And if you've just subscribed, thank you so much again. I love you all. I'm gonna get some sleep now. Until next time.